you guys doing? This is William Myers from Mantis Outdoors, and today we're going to show you some of our shelters that we build. Some of the ones that I build on a regular basis and some experimental ones that Chris has been doing. So follow me into camp. Alright, so Chris always carries a big bag. He calls it base camp in a bag, and it has this tarp in it, which is like the
19
mothership.
by 11.
Yeah, what is it? 19 by 11?
I think so.
Very huge tarp. So he does a lot of options with it. He has a lot of experimentation that he's been doing with it lately. And last night was a pretty cool one. He made it so he had basically an open lean-to with it wrapped underneath. He dug a trench underneath of this, filled it full of leaves, which, and I asked him, why are you spending all this energy on digging that hole? I mean, it just didn't kind of compute with me, but it was actually really comfortable when he filled it up. What I usually normally will do is just lay a log down and fill all that with leaves. A little bit less work, but sometimes the leaves will kind of spread out a little bit. This way, all of his bedding was very contained. A lot of work, but it worked. So what he did here, like I said, it's open lean-to, basically the fire. He had access to the fire that I made, and once the fire died down, he had a flap that he could fold down, and then he had a heater, a propane heater. It is what it is, guys. I mean, he had a propane heater in here, and it worked pretty good. Chris, how did you feel last night?
It was okay.
It was okay?
I'm taking it back.
It wasn't great?
I wanted to try it, but it really ain't worth the money.
Now, you guys might be scratching your head right now because, I mean, my channel is bushcraft.
I'm a prepper.
Right. We'll show my shelter here in a second. That's bushcraft. He is testing things. He's experimenting with things, which is great. He's thinking outside the box, and he's not just trying to follow all the rules, which I don't either.
F the rules.
Yeah, he's just trying to find some stuff that works and experimenting. The propane heater really didn't work very well, and it's obviously not something you're going to backpack either. He was talking more of like emergency car kit stuff. So it worked for me. It was a pretty good idea. Pretty good shelter, Chris. Let's back up for him and move on to my shelter.
I mean, it was fine with the trench with the leaves. I felt absolutely zero cold on my back, even though it was in the 20s. But and I was fine with just the sleeping bag. But I wanted to see how well that propane heater worked, and it just wasn't worth it.
Hey, let me tell you, like, seriously, I'm really proud of Chris, because Chris, when I first met him, he had experimented with like double wedges and stuff like that, and he was completely against sleeping on the ground. We've been together for years doing videos and stuff, and with me doing leaf beds and him laying on those and stuff like that, he finally slept on the ground for the first time in years and had a good experience with it. So I'm proud of him.
Well, I did in the last winter shelter video, but it still, sucked. I didn't have a leaf bed.
So this is my shelter, and what I do, I make this shelter on a regular basis. It's one of my favorites. It kind of melds modern technology and primitive technology in my mind. And what I do is I just make a basic lean-to with a grabber heat sheet tarp, but this is my 8x8 tent smith. And all I do is, you can't see it, but the whole shelter is wrapped pretty much just like this. On the ground here is my 8x8. It goes down and up, just like a basic lean-to, like an open taco basically. And all I do on my ridge line, I have prusik knots with sticks through the grommet holes, and then to attach it to the ridgeline itself, I put a stick in the grommet and then come to the side with it, and that sticks, and even in wind it stays. So let's go to this side where it's kind of less smoky. So outside of that, all that I do, kind of uncover this a little bit here, is I will drive a Y stick down right beside my lean-to. Take a ridge pole, just like this, if you can see in there, put it into the Y, lean sticks up against it, and then start throwing leaves, a bunch of leaves. So it basically acts as a double windbreak on both sides.
And the reason he had plastic in order to make it a super shelter is because he was out with a prepper.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, Chris said, we were thinking like, you know, might as well. Chris said that he had the painter tarp. I was like, yeah, I'll use it. Might as well, you know. It's supposed to be close to the teens tonight. And wrong, dude. Totally wrong. I mean, it was roasting in there. I've been in many super shelters before, but that's with silver mylar on the backside and plastic on the outside. And even in extreme temperatures down into below zeros, you're hot in those. I figured with the canvas being able to breathe a little bit, that painter's tarp in front would just make it really comfortable in there. It was blazing. But I like to have a little bit of rocks in front of my fire for residual heat. After the fire dulls down, that residual heat will still be there, and it'll keep me a little bit warmer throughout the night, so I can just finish that night out when the fire does die down. I always wake up about every 2.5, 3 hours, feed the fire, but towards the end of the night, I'll just sleep right through about 4 hours, wake up, the fire's dead, throw some stuff on, make your coffee, ready to roll. So that's our shelter systems for this trip. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one. Alright guys, this has been William Myers, Mantis Outdoors. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, there's some more of my previous videos that are playing in the screens to my left right now. There's also a subscribe button over there. If you haven't done so, I appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. To stay up to date with what I'm doing with my school and the YouTube channel, stay posted on the videos that are going to be uploaded. You can go to www.facebook.com/Mantis Outdoors, or you can go to www.mantisoutdoorsllc.com. Liking my videos helps me and my channel out a lot. I appreciate all your views, comments, and support, and hopefully we'll see you out in the woods.